So this week on Outside the Box, I must put up a disclaimer. When I say the Western American church, I don't mean every single church or individual within them. It's just generalizations. So today on Outside the Box, I want to get outside of the Western American church's way of thinking on faith. The dictionary defines faith as uh, definition one being complete trust or confidence in someone or something. And as a general rule, most people attribute the meaning of number two to the church. Meaning number two is strong belief in God or in doctrines of theology based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. Okay, and so, but my Bible says in Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the convictions of things not seen, which I would say is a little different. So most people, when you say faith, they think the church, faith in God, salvation, believe in Jesus. Okay? And the thing is I've also heard sermons that say, worry is a lack of faith in God, doing something for you or providing for you. And I would say that in addition to that, it is lacking a possibility of submitting to suffering for the will of God's plan to prevail. So, when we worry about things in our lives, we're, not necessarily worried that maybe God's not going to do it, but that if he doesn't, or he isn't able to do it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But not that he is going to do it. I think that's what we worry about most. And so Luke 18:8 says that will the Son of Man find faith on the earth when he comes back? And and I would say that the Western American church would attribute that to, will he find Christians when he comes back? And I would say that that's more tied into will he find nothing is bigger than my God? That for, in Luke 1:37, it says nothing is impossible for God. Okay? And so like, in my current situation with my knee, I have decided to rest on faith instead of man and resting my faith in doctors and such. But I have torn ligaments. They're not just gonna heal themselves. But I have been prayed for a faith healing, and I'm waiting for it to manifest. So I have decided not to go with surgery. And because after it was prayed for in faith for it to be healed, a couple of different people in and outside my congregation said that to have patience. So instead of lacking faith in God and that nothing is impossible for my God, I am waiting on that manifestation instead of just going through with natural means. And so, when going back to this, will the Son of Man find faith when he comes back to Earth? Which is, I believe, the time is near. It's nearer than it's ever has, and I don't say that just in jest. That it's always closer than it ever was, but that we are on the precipice of it, and that we're going to have to operate in faith, and that we're going to have to heed. And I want to give a warning to Matthew 25:1 through 13. Go ahead and go read it. So I'm going to give you some homework this week. but it's the parable about the 10 virgins. You had 5 wise ones and 5 not so wise. 5 that had their vessel full of oil. And as we see throughout the Bible, the oil is a representative of the Holy Spirit. And so you have 5 virgins that are wise and get into the feast because they were full of the Holy Spirit and full of faith. And then you have the 5 foolish virgins that weren't full of oil. And then later came knocking on the door, and it was too late. So I want to give that warning as, as God, I believe if we look, and the Bible does say that we will know the second coming of the Son of Man, because of the seasons. And we can see clearly that, the season has come. We're on the precipice of it. And are you ready? And I would say don't go to your brothers and sisters because you've been too lazy to get in with the Holy Spirit for yourselves, and your lamps aren't full. Don't come to those of us that have spent our lives getting close to Jesus ourselves and in the Holy Spirit, and our lamps are full. Because in that time we're gonna go on to the feast, and you may not. So just some food for thought. I still welcome any drashing in the comments. And so go ahead, get to drashing. Thank you.